Sam, the first thing I thought of when I was thinking about your race today is that you are back with a bang. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I just want to firstly thank the London crowds. I mean, it means so much to be here with my family and lots of friends that we've known for years. So to come here and do this, and it's insane, especially because like this year's been really rough, right? And it's just always when you overcome, like if there's a message I want to put across, it's that when you really hit rock bottom, you never know what tomorrow might bring. So yeah, yesterday I was, in my head I thought I might come like top 10 maybe, and to do this today is insane.
We saw that you had downplayed your chances before today. Did you really believe that you wouldn't probably exceed top 10? Is this a complete surprise to you?
Yeah, honestly, I genuinely thought I couldn't win. Yeah, I think during the whole run, I kept thinking to myself this one quote which Jan Frodeno posted when he won Kona the second time, and he wrote, "Still here, never left." So yeah, I think tonight I'm going to post that on Instagram.
You seem to really enjoy taking races on from the front, and we saw you do that today. Of course, you chose to swim without a wetsuit, made it up to the front very quickly. And then did you decide to just ride off the front? Was it a concerted effort, or was it just felt natural?
So 2 weeks ago I got a penalty in another race, so I was like, I really don't want to risk getting a penalty here, so I went to the front. I kind of just rode at the top end of what I thought I could do, and I kept holding it, and I don't know if it's because I didn't use a wetsuit, I felt like I didn't overheat, but I just had really, really good legs, and like I smashed my power PB, to be honest, so yeah, pretty chuffed.
And onto the run there, we obviously saw Kyle start to chip into your lead, especially at the beginning of the run, but then it stabilised and you were holding him off. Was it a case of he will not catch me?
To be honest, like I kept telling myself, oh, it's okay if you lose to Kyle. He's like such a nice guy. If there is a guy I'd like to lose to, it's him. And then I was like kind of like slapping myself and like, nah, Sam, like you need to win this. So yeah, to be honest, I would have been really happy either way. Kyle's incredible at this distance, and I think he won't be long before he wins one. Yeah.
You've won two massive races now by going off the front on the bike and then holding on completely on your own on the run. That's something that takes a lot of mental toughness. Is that something that you've practiced?
I think I like to be in control of the race, and when I race from the front, I do. And I'm also not really somebody who races like for the rankings. I'd rather like risk it for the biscuit and blow up and come 10th, you know. But know that I've pushed my limits really. And yeah, today that was everything I had. I was cramping really bad on that last lap, and yeah, that's everything I had today.
Your dad told us a little bit about that calf being a bit of a question mark, but it held up beautifully today. Fantastic, amazing race from you today. We saw on that run that Sam Long came past you when you'd already lapped him, and you then took back that lap from him. Was that a help for you to have someone to run with for a few kilometres? And were you thinking about the calf while you were running?
The calf was bothering me a bit to start with, and then it eased off. I think, yeah, it was nice when Sam came along. I think we've both matured a lot since like what happened 3 years ago. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for the guy, and the way he was running, despite probably not having his best day on the bike, I have massive respect for that.
Well, it certainly seemed to give you a little bit of a boost at the right time, and you held on about 20 seconds in the end to Kyle Smith, but you are our T100 London winner. Congratulations, Sam.
Thanks a lot. I'm going to put that one on my CV.
Kyle, second place yet again. We thought at one point this might be your day. We thought you were going to catch the front. What are your emotions right now with that second place?
Yeah, obviously a little bit disappointed not to. Obviously, it's kind of like someone's dangling a carrot in front of you and you can't quite get it. Yeah, but obviously I'm happy with how I performed today. I'm really proud of how I dug deep and gave it my everything. And at the end of the day, that's the only thing I can do. And if that's only good enough for second, then I'm really happy for that. And obviously happy for Sam 2 weeks after an Ironman to do that's incredible. Yeah, but the crowd was actually insane. I had to kind of, every time I ran through here, the crowd was just so amazing. And yeah, like I was getting goosebumps and getting a bit excited every time I ran. I had to calm myself down. So, I mean, London knew how to put on a show, and the fans obviously are amazing.
When I spoke to you earlier this week and I said, let's have some fireworks again, and you gave me a little smile that said, I'm feeling pretty good and I feel like there could be more than there was in San Francisco. Did you feel better today out there?
Yeah, I felt like really controlled. I think my MO now is kind of controlled aggression, and so, I felt really controlled and really, when Sam went up the road, honestly, I didn't think he'd run like that. So, yeah, I think obviously a little bit of a tactical blunder there, but yeah, I felt like I just wanted to stay calm, stay relaxed, and obviously try and light some fireworks in T2 and get onto the run. But yeah, and obviously I went out super hard again, and that the pacing might have cost me, but yeah, I gave it my everything, and proud of that.
Feels like your runs really come on this year. Is that something you've worked really hard on?
Yeah, I've always when I was a junior coming up, running was always my strength, and then just as my morphology changed, and obviously with World Triathlon I had to work on my swimming so much, so I worked on my swimming and the running came down. It's always that balancing act in triathlon. So running's obviously been something we've been really working on, and honestly it's just the product of 6 months of continuous development and continuous just layering upon layer, which I've never had in my career. So yeah, I'm just in a really good place where I can just keep sort of building on the momentum.
Yeah, it seemed like you couldn't quite get to Sam today. You got that gap down to around 20 seconds and then it was just dangling there. Did you know that gap just wasn't coming down anymore, or did you think that you could reel him in right at the end?
No, honestly, I've always been, kind of back to my last lap, and I thought that maybe the momentum would swing back in my favor. I thought he was hurting a lot, and I could always see every lap he was coming back closer and closer, but yeah, to be honest with you, I think he just did enough just to keep me at bay, and he knew that he had to just keep a little gap, and obviously the time was on his side, so yeah, obviously good work to him and to get the win, and I can only be happy with second.
We know that you were, of course, born in the UK. Have you got a lot of friends and family here today cheering you on along with the rest of this very British crowd? Yeah,
obviously I represent New Zealand, but I was born here. Don't try and claim me just yet, but my family actually came down from the north of England to support me, which is incredible to perform in front of my family and friends that have come down to watch, and my mum flew all the way from New Zealand to watch, so yeah, it was pretty special, and the only thing you want to do is put on a show when they come to support you and give it your best, and now we can go have a big family hug and go out for a meal and celebrate.
Well, Kyle, that's 2 podium performances in a row from you. You are so far the absolute wild card of the season, and we hope to see more from you at the next races. Thanks for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, London.
Daniel, this has been your first ever podium on the T100 tour, and also the PTO tour that existed before that. How sweet does it feel?
Beyond words. I only had hopes for this today. Wow, it's difficult. Really, it's difficult to put into words what it means. It's huge, and I'm grateful to be here.
What do you think's made the difference today? You've obviously not had the greatest results at the start of this season over the T100 distance, but today a fantastic 3rd place. What do you think's made that difference?
I really have no idea. I try to just keep believing in myself. It's been a rough year, and taking all the lessons I've learned throughout the year and just putting one foot in front of the other and keep believing in the process. It's huge. I really don't have it.
You're clearly struggling for the words and the emotion that comes with this. If you can, talk us through what happened in your race today.
Well, I try to just stay in the moment, react to everything happening in the dynamic of the race, and just keep within my own limits, really. And I just try to stick to my own race plan, not going above any limits, and I really got tested. I dropped the chain on the last lap, and I was just trying to keep calm and wait for my moment. Got my chain back on, and then it was just about that mental game, getting back into the back of the group and just on the run, keeping my own rhythm, keeping the technique, the running form, and it was just really great to feel the atmosphere out there, having all the crowds, my team, my coach, family, and Mitch here. As I said, it's been a roller coaster, so poor, coming from not being able to walk and getting out of bed in the morning to being on the podium of the T100. That means a lot.
Yeah, I can see what it means to you. It must feel so special. We know that you've based yourselves in St. Moritz now, and you've also had a group of guys training there with you who also had very good days with Kyle Smith and Rico Bogan and of course Fred Funk. Do you think that's made a difference to you today? And also, are you going to charge Kyle a little bit extra for staying with you now, given he's obviously done pretty well out of it?
Kyle is not only one of the greatest athletes in the world, also one of the greatest guys on the circuit, and he showed his worth. And also he really showed me what it means to have a group of good guys around me to kind of just get the work done. You know, I've trained a lot on my own, and having Kyle there for a huge amount of the time has been an eye-opener in not only what it takes to actually take that final step towards the podium today, but also just remembering how it is to actually have good friends and having fun during sessions. You know, it was like when he came and stayed with me, everything just went from 0 to 100 real quick, and from there it's just been an upgoing spiral. I've started having fun in sessions again and based myself around in a place where, you know, there's Olympic champions around you every day and world champions. It's so motivating, and it's the most beautiful place on earth to train. So it's, I have no words what it actually means to me. It's amazing.
Daniel, whatever you are doing up there in the training group you're working with, it is working for you. So congratulations again. We'll let you go and get your medal, and thanks for talking to us. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot for everything. This is the future of the sport, and thanks a lot.
Richard, we spoke to you midway through the bike, and at that point Sam had just hit the front of the race, and here we are now, we're having just celebrated his victory. I mean, how proud are you of him?
Incredible. No, incredible. It was an amazing race for me. It was really good. I went down onto the bike course after we had the last interview and see sort of him pulling through the course itself. So absolutely, for me, it was amazing. He held really strong all the way through.
We spoke a little bit about that calf injury that he sort of managed, and we didn't really know what to expect from him on the run. Did you think he would hold it together quite as strongly as he did?
Well, looking at what happened in the Ironman the other week, he actually held really well. So I knew he was running strong. It's just he hadn't been running. He ran about 2 or 3 times until this race. So I was a bit dubious. I knew he's running well, but I didn't know if his calf and everything else would hold up because he hasn't had the opportunity to run.
He spoke a little bit about how he really doubted himself coming into this race, and he thought honestly a top 10 would have been good. Is this now a foundation for the rest of the season? I mean, I imagine there's a pretty big title defence he's looking at later this year, as well as hopefully more of our T100 series.
Yeah, it's always difficult. I mean, the season now is really, really long for them, and to go into it, we've had a good training block, and I think everything was going really well in the last big training block. Then he went into the Ironman, and he didn't perform the numbers that he wanted to perform, plus getting disqualified, and obviously that took a knock on the morale. So I think anything today would have been there, but the training's been brilliant. Yeah, so there's no way that he was just putting all the numbers together, and I say now he'll have a bit more confidence in the next training block going into Ibiza, and then also going onto the Big Island.
So it's all come together perfectly. So at this point we can say your tactical decisions throughout the race were perfect. So you can take a deep breath. Sam's not going to be angry at you. It all went as perfectly as it could do.
No, I mean, it's good. We'll take it apart, the race, and obviously there'll be areas that didn't go as well as what we had hoped. But again, that's always easier when it's a win at the front end of it. Yeah, so it's very difficult to get a perfect race. So again, we've got to analyse everything and say, was that the right thing? Was that the wrong thing? And then go forward from there. We've got to say, now we've got to keep on building into the next T100, and then onto Ibiza, onto Kona.
Well, I have to say, what a day for Team Laidlow. So a huge congratulations to you, of course, as coach and dad. You play a big role yourself, and I hope you get to enjoy some of that champagne with Sam.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And we see our T100 Series standings 2024 after 4 races here today in London. Magnus Ditlev in first, 79 points. Kyle Smith's moved up to second in 76 points. Sam Long, he was leading today on 70 points and exits the day in third, still on 70 points. Yuri Kuhlin, Singapore champion, 69. Peter Hemrich, the forgotten man of the T100, in fifth. Sam Laidlow, a champion, moves up to seventh. Rico Bogan in sixth. Frederick Funk, in my opinion, the surprise packet of the day, in ninth. And hometown hero, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, Alistair Brownlee, he salvaged the day and he finishes the day in 10th position in the standings.